Here's the discussion post prompt for today. And even 11-year-olds are able to really understand that they don't want to be dependent learners. They want to be independent. They want to be trusted with the time. And when I ask them, how long would you be able to use work time? How long would you be able to sustain yourself on a project where you're independently leading yourself? All kids are like, oh, I could do that forever. But I know from experience exactly how that works on a class level. I would put it at about 5% of students walk into my class able to sustain it without too much intervention from the teacher or too much coercion, too many grades, too anything else. And so what we need to end up doing is bring them back to this idea of you need to be independent as the bottom line, as the bedrock for what we're trying to get them to understand and what we're trying to build upon. So it doesn't matter what this one homework assignment is. It doesn't matter what this one project. We got to zoom out and say, what kind of habits is this kid showing? What kind of approach did they bring to it? Did they only follow what you're saying? Or did you give them an opportunity to try to figure something out on their own and hold back and let them think for a minute before you gave them the perfect answer, the perfect materials, and stacked it all out for them? If kids are doing it in interesting ways or wrong, that's the way they know how to best do it. And there's something of a difference between I'm giving them everything perfect so that they don't have to figure anything out, and I'm giving them enough instruction that they're figuring it out. Some of them are making mistakes. Some of them are seeing that they need to listen better. Some of them aren't quite getting it perfect right off of the bat, and that's okay. So there's this difference where teachers and parents, we need to approach it remembering what I just said. The independent learner is what we're aiming at. We're not trying to just get perfect homework assignments and perfect projects. We're trying to get them into the process of leading themselves to better projects, to more interesting and creative things. We can't just skip to the end and say, be creative. I tried it. I really did. And it didn't work. Every kid says, give us work time. And that first day, the work time is just amazing. But by about 3 days in, you've lost maybe half the class, and they're chatting. They've lost interest. It's got difficult. They lost the thread for whatever reason. Building that system and building that resilience comes down to giving them a vision of, okay, you're trying to be an independent learner. You're going to have to work kind of hard at this. But also, you have to give them steps to go along the way. You can't just dump them into, hey, it's going to be a struggle. Good luck. Because that doesn't work either. You have to be able to build out all of the skills that they'll need to start figuring stuff out on their own. And then pre-teaching that struggle and saying, hey, this is not going to be super duper easy. You're going to try, and there's going to be times you have to fail, times you end up restarting, things aren't going to turn out the way you want, but you're so much better for it because you did it that way. Independent learning is a real trick, but it's the real core of what we're trying to do. If there's a 22-year-old sitting on a couch that never had to be anything but a dependent learner, what kind of chance do they have? I would say they don't have much of a chance at all. So I would rather have my students be in this messy process where they are trying their best and they aren't quite getting it right. It's a struggle, and we're talking about the struggle, then they're all getting a perfect project and they all feel good about the A's that they're all getting on their grades. Grades probably are the worst thing ever, but that's a whole different topic. It's been really fun to develop all this stuff. The projects have been running on the back, and I can't wait to continue developing how this works. The next couple of years, it's really going to crystallize. If you haven't followed, if you haven't commented or anything, I'd love to hear from some people who think this is worthwhile. Thank you.